Wicked Witches. It's the Sagittarius dark moon, and that took me by surprise. I thought it was going to be the Capricorn dark moon, and I did a podcast and everything where I was saying, oh, it's the Capricorn dark moon, and then realised that it was Sagittarius, and it just caught it 28 degrees. So it's literally right at the end. It's 29 degrees for each season, and so it really just clipped the end. And so then we then go into Capricorn season, and then it's the solstice. So it's quite a lot of like you know, the new moon doesn't always butt up against the solstice, and it's normally Capricorn, not Sagittarius. And there's quite a lot of other big things happening, like it's square with Saturn and Neptune, and also Mars has just moved out of Scorpio and into Capricorn. So there's like a lot of shifting happening with this dark moon that basically overall is asking us to look at what needs finishing up. Like, we need to get our house in order a little bit, is what it's saying, before we really get into next year. And next year's going to be a real big one. This year was a big one. This year was unprecedented astrology. You know, and it showed up a lot in what has happened throughout the course of the year. It's been a big year, and you know, a lot of it's because Pluto moved into Aquarius for the first time in 350 years, and the last time it was here was the Industrial Revolution, the French Revolution, the American Revolution. And because that's changed, and Neptune and Uranus changed signs as well, and they're slow moving planets too, it's meant that a lot of the astrology this year has been like the first time in 300 years, or the first time in 150 years, or whatever. And so, yeah, it's been a lot of really mad, crazy, never before stuff happening, which is kind of new and exciting, and is kind of what the Aquarius age is all about. Like, Aquarius is all about entrepreneurship and change and wacky ideas and just, yeah, air, freshness. And the fact we're ending on this Sagittarius dark moon, which is fire, it's like truth. This card here is it in a nutshell. It's truth. It's like I mean, it can sometimes be a bit like always right, if you know it's Sagittarian, but it's like, it has to be truthful. It's cutting through the shit and getting clear and getting ready, because 2025, you had 2, had 0, had 2, had 5, it's 9. So this year has been a 9 year in numerology, and next year is a 10 year. And in terms of like an alchemical process, 8 was fire, it was stoking the fire. Speaking of which, I need to stoke that fire, but it was stoking the fire. 9 is the purification of the apparatus. And then 10 is the year that we turn the shit into gold. So next year is a big year in terms of it's Leo energy. So you're not going to be able to be invisible next year. You are going to be seen next year, and you're either going to be seen positively. It's not that you're going to be seen negatively. What I mean is, if you're trying to avoid attention, or you're trying to not be seen, you're going to be seen anyway. It will just be like drawing negative attention to yourself rather than being in your power. So whatever it is, it doesn't mean about being big and brash or loud. It's just that it's about you being you fully, and just like going for it. If there is a thing that you've been trying to do, wanting to do for ages, next year's the year for it. And that could be an inner world thing, an out world thing, whatever it is. But next year it's the year. And it's, if you were going to start a business, next year's the year to do it. If you were going to put yourself out there doing something, next year's the year to do it. But also, if you were going to go do a shamanic journey, next year's the year to do it. Like, it's the year. It's the year. And then it's 11, which is like the experience of whatever happens in 10. So in 10, you're going to turn the lead into gold, you're going to turn the shit into gold, you're going to turn like the bad experiences, and the lead is like the things that have happened that have been hard in the journey that's got you here. Like, all of the things that you've learned will turn into gold, will turn into medicine, will come into fruition, will become the things you've wanted them to be. And then 11, it's like the experience of it, and then you start again at number 1. So we, the next 2 years are mega years. So exciting. But it's interesting that the way the moon's landed is for us to do some more burning. We need to burn whatever doesn't serve us and get clear so that we're ready for next year. And it's not actually until the 18th of January or around then that the Capricorn dark moon is, which is when you set your intentions. So what I was talking about doing is this, which is an iconostasis, which is what I put on the back of my altar. So an iconostasis is what the saints, those like wooden things that are like this, that you'd put on an altar with the saints painted on. But this is like your intentions for the year. So it's like a mood board, but it's your mood board for the year, and then you put it on your altar. And this one I used for this year, and everything that's on there came true. I mean, it's pretty mega, like actually quite mad that everything on there happened. So that's cool. And it's just a really powerful thing. Like I have it in front of me when I'm doing yoga and meditating in the morning. It's like it's just like, this is what you're aiming for. This is what you're creating, and that's really cool. And yeah, tonight we did the Sagittarius dark moon ceremony, and we wrote on bay leaves like things that we want to burn, what we want to let go of and get rid of, and or send up and give thanks to, or just give energy to. And I also burnt a banknote for the first time ever, having done an interview with John Harris from the Church of Burn on my podcast last week, which was exploring the Church of Burn burns money. And if you haven't listened to it in the podcast, Church of Burn, John Harris, I highly recommend. It's really interesting. And for me, it's a really big deal because I've got this, issue with money. It's been my issue my whole life, and it's like my deepest wound. It's why it's why my parents split up. But I am letting that go. But that's what the story has been. So like that was my my reality being destroyed for me was because of money. And so going through this really freeing up process of burning. I burnt a £1 note, but on Saturday I'm going to be burning a £10 note. And people might be like, oh, that's so, like, I do stuff for charity all the time. I give things to charity all the time. This work is like me paying for a therapist or whatever. Or like, it's not, because the point of it is it's just a sacrifice. You're not expecting to get anything from it. And I just burnt a £1 note. And it was a really interesting reaction that I was quite surprised about, because I'd written down all about the £1 note. And I was in ceremony with my friend, and I just read out all the information, like the number, its serial number, and I'd like really looked at it, and I'd written down like how many buildings were on it and how many people and what animals were on it and all this stuff, and it was like I was reading out an obituary to this being that was no longer here. And she said, well, because money's a transference of energy. So by burning it, you've just ended that cycle. You've ended the journey of that cycle of that energy. And I was like, which is like a death. When someone dies, that's the end of that use of the energy. It's really interesting. It's just really interesting. I didn't expect that to be the feeling. And it's an offering. It's a sacrifice. It is in a way. I mean, like, pagans maybe did sacrifice people at one point or whatever, but it did sort of feel like a life. And to have made that sacrifice, which is just in honour, it's just a sacrifice, and it's to whatever deity. I mean, I was not, for me, it's the universe. I'm starting to transfer a bit more faith into deities. I used to be a born again Christian. I've been in that, fully in that place of faith. And then fully rejected it, and then I'm starting to just like not feel like I have to carry everything on my shoulders the whole time. So starting to let that back in, that like actually that's that deity's job. And the deity for money that has come through for John Harris is a mermaid. It's a mermaid who actually has a leg split with a vagina in the middle, and she's on. If you listen to the podcast, he'll explain where she is and who she is. But she's the Starbucks logo mermaid, for randomly. So she's all over the place, like she's everywhere. And yeah, she comes up a lot in things to do with money. So she's got some connection to money, and she's everywhere. So she's doing very well in terms of being a visible goddess. So yeah, there's an element of like not carrying the weight of the universe on my own shoulders by not believing in anything or not having faith in anything, but starting to go, okay, she's the goddess of money. I've just made a sacrifice, and it's to her, I guess. And I'm not going to carry the weight of money. And I also burnt bay leaves of peace, money, and voice. And with them, it's like it's not like I'm getting rid of them by burning them. It's not that it's not that I'm asking for more money or whatever. It's just like, these are the things that I am interested in exploring or opening or flowing more, or these feel like my challenges or my lessons or current puzzles. So peace wasn't on purpose. That was just that I did the pilgrimage for peace this year, and it was the least peaceful thing I've ever done. It's so unpeaceful, just in many ways. It was interesting, and I feel more at peace again now, but it was interesting. So it's just also interesting that it's a Sagittarius dark moon instead of Capricorn, and that there's things for us to do, to look at and work on before we go into the new year. So yeah, I'm going to do a money burn on Saturday. I'm going to burn a bigger note, and we're going to go on a pilgrimage to the Dolmen in Little Sark, and there's a group of us that are going to go and burn some banknotes, and that feels like interesting how I've ended up feeling about it. And just never thought of money in that way before, so that's been good. So I'm going to do a reading. So this is for the Sagittarius, mad, fiery, what are we burning, what's going on, dark moon, before we enter into the 10-year where we're going to turn our shit into gold. So that's my rune. So this is the seed of inspiration, of transformation, and it's the sperm. So this is masculine creative energy. It's the sperm hitting the egg and making something new, transferring energy, but transforming an egg and itself into something new, and just the world will never be the same again. It's the Hermit card, has the little spark, the lantern, that is the spark that you're born with. This is what you're born with. This is the lantern I'm going to be taking with me on Saturday to burn the notes with. And yeah, the Hermit card is about doing that inner work and remembering your little spark that you're to stoke and look after and care for and love throughout life, because that's what happened when the egg and the sperm met. But yeah, it's about you really connecting again and remembering what you're here to be and do, your higher purpose, what makes your soul sing, and to do that inner work. And that hermit time, which is also, these winter months, is time for us to do that. So creation, hibernation, doing some creative inner world work. But next year we're going to shine. Okay, and then for the physical world, it's a new dawn. So this is, and this is inner and outer, that's the infinity symbol as well in the physical world. I mean, I'm very excited about next year. So that for me, in the physical world, it's about really stepping into the inner and outer becoming one. So the figure of 8, you've got the inner world's infinite, the outer world's infinite, and the figure 8 is this sphincter in the middle, which is our ego. And when it's untwisted, that's when you're the Fool. So the Fool is at the top of the tarot deck, and that's when the inner and outer are one, and you're in flow. And that's where children live. Children live in the world of imagination. Indigenous cultures, everything's an act of worship. Everything's sacred. Their whole lives are sacred. It's not just on a Sunday in church and then go to work 9 to 5 for the rest of the week. What? Everything is sacred. Everything's an act of worship. Everything's a creative act. Everything is art. And that is like, it's a new dawn in the physical world. I feel like we're stepping into it, as much as it feels like the world's going mad and to shit. And then in our communication, this is harvest, which is again a wonderful rune. So in our intelligence, our ideas, our learning, our communication, it's time to harvest. And I feel like that. It's like, we know so much. Why are we not, you know, the internet's dead, right? It's dead. Fake news, all of it. It's kind of they've shot themselves in the foot. And it's all just going to be so abstract, and reality so mad. And Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, Pluto going into Aquarius, is an air sign. And Alan Moore, who wrote V for Vendetta, where the Anonymous Masks comes from, he's a self-proclaimed wizard. And there's a really good YouTube video you can watch of him where he talks about how we were in ice state, and then we moved into a water state, and then we're moving into a steam state now. And so that's this air Aquarius energy, and how we're going to you know, have to just like trust the process and like relax into it, because no one's going to know what it's like to turn into steam. You know, there are going to be pluses and minuses. Like, it's just a shift. It's going to be a massive shift, and you just got to relax. And that's why I do the Nonsense and the Chaos podcast, and the work that I'm trying to do on myself and trying to encourage other people to do is to just relax into change. Like, don't fear change, embrace it, because that's the only thing you can do. That's the only muscle that one can exercise in the face of all that's happening. Because it might be that we're going to have to give up our creature comforts, or it might be that we're going to have to, I don't know, who knows. But the more we're okay with change, the easier change is going to be. So, you know, take different routes to work, use different toilet cubicles, don't always do the same thing, quit the job and go do something completely mad and different. Just do it. Just change things as much as you possibly can on a regular basis, on a daily basis, and get yourself used to being out your comfort zone. That's the only thing we can do right now. That's the only thing we can do right now in the face of everything. And then here in our passion is Lot's Cup, the gambling cup. So this is Paretha. So this is literally a gambling cup. So this means in terms of our passion and our drive, it's fucking gamble. It's literally what I was just saying. It's funny because I was holding that rune as I was saying it. Just gamble. I'm not saying go gamble with money, but I'm saying gamble with, just don't be safe. Don't play it safe. That the time is gone. It's been and gone. And then in the inner world, we have Haglaz. Now it's interesting because this keeps coming up in readings that I've been doing for people over this winter. Haglaz means interference, and it means, I mean, for me, what that represents, especially with the inner world, is we're turning from water to steam. It's going to feel crazy, like, you know, the black and white, if you're old enough to remember on TV channels when you'd be in between the channels and it would be that black and white crazy interference anti-attack thing that would happen. It's like we're going to be going through that, and it's because the channel's changing. We're transferring into a different reality, which is, you know, scary. Can't do anything about it. Might as well, you know, it's like be at the front of the fucking roller coaster with your arms in the air going ah, rather than like cowering at the back, because it's going to happen anyway. We can't do anything about it. It's already happening. So get involved. And it's all to play for. Nothing's written. No one knows what's going on. No one. And anyone, the more people think they know what's going on, the harder they're going to find it. So enjoy your ignorance and your openness, and yeah, just absolutely, the less you know the better. The more you just accept change and embrace the unknown, the better. Yeah, no one knows what's going on, and it's all to play for. So Queen of Discs, she's been coming up a lot as well. It's about like comfortably sitting in your dominion, your domain, and just look, she's so comfortably looking out, surveying her land. So like whatever's happened in your life, whatever is your reality, just own it and appreciate it and enjoy it and be proud of it, and don't feel like you should have, could have, would have. The comparison is the thief of joy. No regrets. Like, love and enjoy and own where you're at, because when the shit hits the fan, which it has, so the fan has been hit by the shit and we're in it, and the hailstorm is happening, and for whatever reason the universe has put you where you are, like God's plan, whatever it is, you are here, this age, this time, in this place, doing what you're doing. So look at that and be like, why? What am I meant to be doing from here? Okay, I could be doing this, or I'm meant to be doing this, and I am doing this. This is what I'm meant to be doing. 100% it's what you're meant to be doing. So own it, enjoy it, survey it. Knight of Wands, and this is the Sagittarius energy. Just kind of like own it and then set it all on fire. I mean, I'm not saying set it all on fire, but it is, it's just, I mean, it's riding into the flames. We are in a burning tower moment in time. And again, it's like, I mean, for me, that's being at the front of the roller coaster with your hands in the air. Just embrace the chaos, the madness of it all, the change. Both of these cards are in power. They're in their power. Change, the figure of 8, the yin and the yang, the inner and the outer. Just absolutely go with it. And the more we're doing this, rather than the evil shit that's going on out there, the more of us doing this, the more the picture will change to be what we would like it to be, rather than what they're trying to make it be. And that's the pixel, the whole thing of you being a pixel. You are a pixel in a picture, and all you can do is worry yourself with your pixel. Everyone else is nothing to do with you. So you choose what you make that pixel. It can be beautiful watercolour, it can be lovely pastels, it can be fucking neon, which is what I'm making it. You do whatever you want to do, but just trust that there are other people out there making their pixels beautiful too. And enough pixels have divine beauty and love and kindness and just joy and all those things coming out of it. And the more of us that are doing that, the more beautiful the picture's going to be. So trust everyone else to do their pixel, you do yours, and make it fucking beautiful, and make it full of love and kindness and safety and all the things. So you just crack on with that. And trust that there's something bigger and cosmic going on. This is what I mean about the me giving a bit more faith to things. I've always been like one foot either side, and I am, and I will always be. I'm Capricorn, and I don't do wah-wah. It's also what I mean by like, we've got all the knowledge now, like why are we not, I'm not going to just like believe in wah-wah for the sake of it. But I am willing to really step into the unknown in terms of like, there are so much, there are bigger things going on. It's not, AI doesn't, I use AI a lot. I actually use it a lot. It's not that great. It's all right. It's not that great. And I know that there are more complex things being used in, you know, especially with like police, AI police, or any of that kind of stuff, or like government, local council. You know, it's the inhumanity of it, and that is frustrating when you're trying to do something. Like I got blocked out of my Facebook account, and there's just there's no one to talk to. They won't. But that's why I'm saying it's interesting, because I think it means the internet's just going to die, because it's just like, I can't be bothered. I actually got back into it by accident because I changed phones, and then it just let me back in again. But I was happy to let it go. Like, and it's just, the algorithms are bullshit now anyway. Like it's all become such nonsense that it's almost become irrelevant. And that's great. And then the face recognition, all the stuff that they are doing with it all requires us to be actively engaging in the reality that they've fabricated. We've collectively fabricated, but it's so easy to just switch off. Like, if the more analog we go again, the less any of that shit's going to work. I mean, literally, we can stop the whole thing just by becoming analog. And, yeah. And transform, which is the main rune. Is this powerful, mad shit. Like, big shit's happening, and it's going to be mega. And next year's the year. So just be weird and fabulous and magical and all the things that you want to be. And trust it's all going to be okay. We got this. This is a brilliant reading. And it's been cool because I've been doing readings for people and they've all been brilliant too. It just feels like next year's the year, man. Next year's the year. Turning the shit into gold. Pleasures of Life. Queen Bass. Oh, I love her. I've never pulled her before. Queen Bass. The Pleasures of Life. Okay, let's see what she's got to say. I love Bass. She's cool. The great feline goddess Bass, celebrated for thousands of years throughout ancient Egypt, holds power over sex, fertility, music, and healing. She was originally depicted as a lioness along with the warrior goddess Sekhmet, but was eventually distinguished as her own distinct deity in the form of a cat. Bass strides confidently into view with all of the pleasures of life for you to enjoy. Our daily routines and work responsibilities often leave us feeling tired and worn out. In some countries, it is a point of pride to overwork to the brink of death, all in the name of productivity. Yet so few individuals understand the importance of allowing yourself to simply enjoy being alive. When was the last time you danced alone in your room to your favourite song? Can you remember the last time you did something spontaneous and fun? The goddess Bass is here to remind you that there is nothing wrong with a little pleasure. And I'm here to remind you there's nothing wrong with a fucking shit ton of pleasure. And that we should be just do that. Do that. Do a bit of Queen Bass. We got this, my loves. All right, thank you. I shall see thee anon.